This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins. Scott Dennis is on assignment. Topping our news this noon, the father of baby Chance Walsh will spend the next 45 years in prison for the infant's death. This man, Joseph Walsh, agreed to a plea deal of second-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. According to court papers, Walsh killed baby Chance during a drug-induced rage 2 years ago. He and his wife, Kristen, then buried the baby in Northport. Last year, the baby's mother, Kristen Walsh, pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter. She later took her own life in the Sarasota County Jail. In court this morning, a judge imposed a 45-year sentence on Joseph Walsh per the previous agreement. A Manatee County school goes on lockdown after a threat of gun violence this morning. It happened at King Middle School in Bradenton before 6 o'clock. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says a 13-year-old girl called the school and said she was coming to the school to shoot all staff and students. Deputies were notified immediately and the school went on lockdown. A call was put out to parents about the lockdown and some picked up their children. Deputies arrested the 13-year-old girl at her home later on in the morning. A large turnout today for a conference on the illegal drug epidemic on the Suncoast. It was held in Manatee County, the county with the highest overdose rate in the state. Details of the conference now from our Jacqueline Matter. Jacqueline?
Ray, Governor Rick Scott is asking local health and law enforcement agencies to hold that workshop in hopes of finding new solutions on the issue that has plagued the state in recent months. He's asking the Florida Department of Children and Families and the Department of Health and Department of Law Enforcement to hold workshops within local communities to find a solution to end that epidemic. Manatee County tops the list with the highest number of overdose deaths of Florida's 67 different counties. Scott says these workshops are a starting point and the issue must be tackled head on.
We must deal with this from a prevention standpoint. If someone's addicted out there on the streets, that person needs help and prevention.
Coming from a lifestyle of addiction, I know that it's a force of darkness that's coming against our region, and we need to stand together to break that.
Well, similar workshops will also be held in Palm Beach, Orange, and Duval counties. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, Jacqueline. Speaking of drugs, Sarasota police say they collected 35 pounds of unwanted prescription drugs over the weekend. It was part of a national drug take-back initiative with Drug Enforcement Administration. Members of the DEA will collect the drugs and dispose of them properly. The drug take-back is an effort to prevent prescription drug abuse and theft. Permanent drop boxes can be found at the police headquarters on Adams Lane. A Venice man is behind bars for allegedly selling drugs out of his home. Deputies arrested this man, 38-year-old Michael Layton. They say they received more than a dozen complaints about drug activity in his house. They say Layton sold methamphetamine and fentanyl. They charged him with maintaining a nuisance dwelling and driving with an expired license. Police in Sarasota looking for this armed robber. Photos released show a man with a firearm inside the Circle K Shell station last night on South Tamiami Trail. Officers say he demanded money and threatened harm if the demand was not met. The employee gave the armed robber cash and then he ran off. The robber is described as a black male, heavy built, between the age of 30 and 40. A child was seriously injured this morning in a rollover crash in Bradenton. It happened after a black SUV rolled over on 9th Street East and US 301. A 4-year-old was stuck inside, was rescued, but taken to Children's Hospital. The driver was taken to Blake Medical. The accident closed all southbound lanes on 301. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Another crash involved a semi-truck and a minivan. It happened on State Road 64 and Greenfield Boulevard. The driver of the van had to be bay-flooded to Blake Memorial. No status yet on the driver of the semi. The accident is also under investigation. Our week-long series Behind the Badge continues. Later on today, you'll meet one of the 2 school resource officers in a Manatee elementary school. Officer Douglas Marston can be seen walking the halls of Palmetto Elementary School. He says it's important to educate students to help officers become a positive presence in their lives.
You are the liaison from the police department to the school, to the public, and to the parents.
Marston's position is fully funded by the Palmetto Police Department. The only other elementary school with a resource officer in Manatee County is at Anna Maria Elementary. However, all middle and high schools in the county are staffed with a full-time officer. We'll have more on this story today at 5 o'clock. A half-century-old preschool in West Bradenton will be closing its doors. Palmasola Presbyterian Church will shut down in a few months. The church wants to go in a different direction, they say, and they can no longer support this mission. At least 90 kids attend this school. The preschool will officially close on August the 4th. Well, a bit of a change in your morning commute today. We saw some rain and some showers across the area.
Yeah, thunderstorms too. You were awoken by some thunder.
I saw lightning. I thought I'd go see the doctor. Didn't know what it was.
What is that stuff in the sky? Yeah, we had some pretty good lightning pops around Charlotte Harbor. Northport got some pretty good rainfall. Inland areas got some rain. There were a couple of scattered showers through areas of Manatee County. We're not done yet. We still have a chance at seeing some storms around. We started off the morning kind of cloudy, actually, as we got a little prefrontal trough kind of moved through and brought some rain showers. Now we got the sun out. That sun actually will just kind of help to grow some of these clouds. That, combined with a frontal boundary and a lot of moisture and a sea breeze front, will all help to produce a few scattered showers. We're seeing those showers build in inland areas now, and we're watching that front kind of weaken as it sags southward. But we're not relying completely on just the front alone to produce these showers. It's going to be a combination of things. The front, sea breeze, warm, moist air. Big thunderstorms back toward the east, though we won't see anything like that, I don't believe. But we could have the chance under maximum daytime heating to see a few thunderstorms around. Maybe a couple of them have some gusty winds. Put the rain chance at about 30% this afternoon or so. And then as we head into the next couple days, we have another significant chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms around. Even better coverage. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes, Ray.
Okay, see you soon. Thank you, John. New this afternoon, Congress has called airline executives to Capitol Hill after a series of onboard incidents. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the story.
This won't be a pleasant hearing for the witnesses today.
A bumpy ride for the airline industry on Capitol Hill.
This committee and Congress do not want half measures or temporary fixes.
Lawmakers taking executives to task on turbulent conduct when it comes to customers.
We're here today to look and hear about where we could prod, push, or regulate or legislate to get better service for passengers.
United Airlines CEO, the star witness, acknowledging the anger over the violent removal of Dr. David Dow from a flight in April.
And in that moment, for our customers and our company, we failed.
Oscar Munoz promising his airline is now piloting a new set of policies.
Our actions will speak definitely longer than our words. We will do better.
And United not the only industry giant in the hot seat. American, Southwest, and Alaska Airlines all present for the public hearing, facing tough questions from Congress.
For our part, Alaska is actively reviewing sensitive customer policies such as overbooking, and it is our intention to further improve the experience for our guests.
Consumers and Congress now waiting to see if today's probing provides promise of an upgraded travel experience.
If we don't see meaningful results that improve customer service the next time this committee meets to address the issue, I can assure you, you won't like the outcome.
Lawmakers not letting up on the airlines, at one point even highlighting that United Airlines made $800 million on change fees, changes that cost the company nothing. Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
Affordable housing might be on the way to Bradenton. The developer wants to build 90 apartments on 3.5 acres at the corner of 6th Avenue East and 9th Street East. Rents would start about $561. Neighbors, well, they have mixed reactions.
I think it's fine. I don't see a big deal about it. I mean, you know, give a few more people a place to stay.
There's a lot of homes here now that are empty because the markets keep going up and they fail, and then people get put out. So let's get these houses that are already built. Let's get people in them. Let's get them living in them. Make it affordable.
This plan is still in the early stages. The restaurant on the historic Bridge Street Pier needs better air conditioning, but some are questioning who should pay for it. The Bradenton Herald reports a bid has been put in by the Community Redevelopment Agency to add a $73,000 upgrade inside the Anna Maria Oyster Bars restaurant on the pier. The restaurant leases space from the city of Bradenton Beach. Leaks and moisture have damaged the roof. If approved, the bar would close for 2 weeks to be installed Installations could start as soon as September. Speaking of food, time for our guest chef. Today we have Caleb Taylor from famous Jack Dusty's here at the Ritz-Carlton. And Chef, what's on the menu today?
Well, I thought today we'd kind of beat this weather that we're getting with a nice chilled corn soup, some beautiful Florida sweet corn that we're getting right now.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you soon.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group practices, 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Tower cam looking off to the north, to the west, picking up a few of those clouds. That's our frontal boundary that we're looking at right there. It'll slowly be limping, I guess you could say, in this direction. It's kind of lost a lot of its forward momentum, but it will suffice to help produce a few scattered showers around. Hey, speaking of clouds, check out this photo that was sent in by one of our viewers here at ABC 7. Gary, we appreciate this photo sent in. Shot at New Jersey with a little storm system back to the west. Asked me, what is this cloud? Well, this cloud is called let me see if I get this right now, a stratiformis undulatus opacus asperatus. The only way I knew that is this is a newly classified cloud, actually, just this year. First time in 50 years that the World Meteorological Organization added clouds to its International Cloud Atlas, and the Asperatus cloud was one of them. It was lobbied strong by the Royal Meteorological Organization, and the Cloud Appreciation Society got together and kind of wrestled it out with the World Meteorological Organization and got that cloud in. Pretty cool looking cloud, if you ask me, I think. Nice stuff. We are looking today at a few more clouds headed our way. And as they do so, I'm having a little trouble with my computer here. As they do so, we'll start to see showers begin to build across the region, I think, a few of them coming our way. Those clouds will eventually bring us a chance of showers, and maybe a thunderstorm or two, but the chance of thunderstorms will be pretty minor. Let me reboot the computer and see if we can get this going. Okay, there we go. Currently, thank you, Chris, for going to tower cam there. Appreciate that. Current air temperature outside reflecting the little bit of sunshine that we have had across the region. Well, it's still not working. You know what? Let me change clickers here and see if that helps. Thanks for bearing with us, folks, here. Temperatures have climbed into the mid-80s. Thank you to a little bit of sunshine that we've seen. Now, there we go. And a dew point value still high, coming in at about 72. Winds are out of the west-southwest at about 9. The combination of those westerly winds with a sea breeze and the daytime heating, which has carried a lot of places now into the mid-80s. Got 85 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, 83 in Sarasota, 83 in Venice. That'll get the sea breeze going, which we're already seeing a little effect of that southwesterly wind in the sea breeze action. Then you combine that with the frontal boundary kind of coming in on that whole line. And there's some colder air aloft that's going to help support a few of these storms, producing some good gusty downdraft winds. And we have the potential of seeing a few good and strong thunderstorms around. There won't be many, and severe weather is not anticipated. But nevertheless, you get some 30, 40-mile-an-hour gusts out of some of the storms that may form as these mechanisms all kind of combine together around 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Total rainfall amounts, they are not going to be drought busting. They're not going to be all that great, though we had some earlier on, particularly around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor. The best rain chances, I think, are going to be inland this afternoon. Wauchula, Arcadia, Ona. You could get some storms. Now, we have some drier air that's kind of filtered in back behind this frontal boundary, so that will limit the effectiveness of the front, but it will help produce, I think, some of the gustier winds. It'll also kind of reduce the amount of rain showers that we get tomorrow. Yeah, we've got some pretty decent dew point drops up north, some drier air filtering in. We're still in the kind of soup down here. And the thing is, the dividing line between these 70 dew points and the 40 dew points to the north, it's not going to go very much further to the south. It's kind of locked in place. So as that front sinks south, it stalls out, and we don't get a lot of drier air. This is the amount of rain that has fallen, according to Doppler radar estimates, and you know, it's not drought busting, like I say, a couple hundredths of an inch in places that got it. Not everybody's going to get the rain today. But some places down around Rotunda, Northport, got over an inch of rain. So that was good to see. So forecast for the rest of the afternoon looks like this. We have about a 30% chance of a shower or two today, followed by tomorrow, a little bit drier conditions. Then we'll watch Thursday into Friday. We have about a 5% chance of some severe weather, according to Storm Prediction Center, late Thursday, early Friday, as another front comes through, clears us out, cools us off, just in time for the weekend. Back to you.
All right, perfect timing. Thank you, John. Now, here's a burning issue. Should teachers and faculty be allowed to smoke around a school? It's up for debate tonight in Sarasota. The school board is considering changing the smoking policy for employees. Right now, smoking is banned on the district property and in vehicles. This includes e-cigarettes, but employees can smoke in designated areas, which is the area board members are considering changing during tonight's meeting. A set of New York triplets are making medical history by becoming the first born with a rare skull malformation and then receive corrective surgery. Hunter, Jackson, and Caden Howard are just 2 months old. They were born with a condition that happens when a baby's skull fuses too early. The condition could stunt future brain development. Doctors performed surgery on all three in January. They still wear their helmets to help in the recovery process.
Craniosynostosis itself is not that uncommon. It's about 1 in every 2,000 to 1 in every 2,500 children. But what made these children unique is that they were triplets where all three of them had it.
The likelihood of all three triplets being born with the same malformation is about 1 in 160 trillion. Only 2 of the triplets are identical, but again, they are recovering well. We wish them the best. It's one of the hot new diet fads. But does intermittent fasting really work? Kenneth Moten has a story.
Would you go on a fast every other day to lose weight? It's a fad that has many Americans skipping meals these days, and proponents say it's a surefire path to losing the pounds. But a new study suggests this approach may not live up to the hype. Researchers at the University of Illinois Chicago looked at a group of 100 healthy obese adults to see the effects that fasting every other day had on their health. They put these subjects on a regimen that had them consuming only 25% of their usual calories every other day. Each one of these fasting days followed by a feast day during which they could eat as much as they wanted. What they found, this group did not lose any more weight than adults who simply limited their calories daily. There was also no difference in blood pressure, heart rate, blood sugar control, or markers for inflammation between the two groups. Bottom line, if you're trying to lose weight, skip the fast. Moderation may be the better bet in the long run. With this Medical Minute, I'm ABC's Kenneth Moten.
We all know that laughter is the key to happiness, but could it help you live longer as well? Well, a yoga class in California is trying the theory. The instructor begins every class with her senior citizens laughing. Studies show babies laugh 400 times a day, but as we get older, people tend to laugh about 17 times a day. That's pretty telling. The instructor says she wants to increase that number, and her class loves it.
More happiness around the community. It seems like people spontaneously start laughing a little bit.
I just think it's so good for a person to laugh. I mean, you just feel better. I mean, it does away with all your problems.
Research reveals laughter reduces stress, reduces blood pressure, and also improves immunity. Looks like a fun class out there. Up next, a controversial former quarterback has yet to find a new job, but he is staying busy helping others. And later, the reason behind one teen's plunge into a store aquarium, and police aren't laughing. Those stories and more when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah. For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
A center fielder for the Orioles claims he was the center of racism last night. During Baltimore's game against the Red Sox, Adam Jones says Boston fans were tossing out racial slurs, and that's not all. He says someone in the crowd threw a bag of peanuts at him, and he was called the N-word several times, he says. The 5-time All-Star says he's been the subject of racist heckling at Fenway Park before, but this one was one of the worst cases he's experienced, he says, in his 12-year career. Colin Kaepernick may not be playing in the league right now, but he's still making a difference. The former 49ers quarterback was seen giving some of his old suits outside a New York City parole office as part of his Know Your Rights campaign, which helps parolees find work and live more productive lives. Kaepernick's decision to kneel and protest during the national anthem ahead of last year's games became a topic of national conversation. The Rays kicked off a 4-game series against the Marlins last night. The Marlins made it on the board first, at the bottom of the first, with a run by D. Gordon. And the score remained 1-0 until the top of the fourth, when a fly ball by Tim Beckham leads to a double, allowing Corey Dickerson and Ricky Weeks Jr. to make it home. The Marlins did score a home run, same inning, but the Rays went on to win the big one. 4-2 was the final score, rather. Well, there's no rule that you have to watch pro sports on TV, at least not for the WNBA. They plan to stream 20 games a year over the next few seasons on Twitter. The Twitter games will not be televised. It'll be the first women's sports to be live streamed on a social networking site. The inaugural game between the Dallas Wings and Phoenix Mercury is set for May 14th. Let's go back to the kitchen now, and John has joined the fun. He is with our chef, Caleb Taylor from Jack Dusty. Guys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Ray. Always a pleasure having Caleb in the kitchen. You make up such tasty treats, and I heard this one was all the rave at Best of the Best.
It was, and so many people asked me how we made it. I thought we would make it here together. It's a chilled corn soup. Florida corn right now is so amazing.
The best. So sweet, so good.
And so we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of buttermilk. So it's kind of a nice contrast with the sweet corn. So first things first is I shucked some of this beautiful corn we have over here. I'm going to start with a warm pan, add a little bit of oil. Okay, and then I have a little bit of
corn oil.
This may be a corny segment, right?
That's right.
We're going to add a little bit of garlic. I have a little bit of shallots here I'm going to add, and we want to sweat those, meaning we don't want to caramelize them. We just want to get a little bit of color on all of these items.
No browning.
No browning. Of course, you could roast it, and you'd get a different look, different flavor. But I went ahead and I cleaned some of this corn, and then we're going to take the cob here, and we're going to put it in a little bit of water. Just cover it with water. We want to simmer this for 45 minutes. It's going to make a nice, flavorful, aromatic stock for us.
Cleaning that cob looks like you really do need a sharp knife, or you could get into big trouble there.
You do, but of course you could always use a box grater, a mandolin, anything of that nature would certainly work. So while this is cooking, it's going to become translucent. You'll notice a difference in the color. So a lot of people ask me how they can kind of make their dinner parties a little more interesting. And now there's so many different gadgets you can buy. One of the gadgets we use, that's pretty neat, right? Yeah. It's a neat kind of aerating whisk. Keeps everything nice and together instead of the big balloon whisks. But what we're going to do here is we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice into a warm pan here, and I have some gelatin that I've bloomed. Now gelatin will come, it'll look like a sheet like this, and we'll soak it in a little bit of cold water. And then we're going to add a little bit of gelatin here, and this will start to melt. Yeah, absolutely. If you could stir that for me, that'd be perfect.
Was this the gadget you were talking about here, this right here?
No, what we're going to use is this is a whipped cream dispenser. And what's fun about this is it takes anything and kind of pressurizes it and adds, kind of aerates it, so it gives it a different texture.
Where do you get this kind of gelatin? This isn't the same as the gelatin you buy in the box to make like...
Well, you can buy a powdered gelatin, but we use sheets of gelatin, so it's a little more of a controlled, instead of measuring or weighing. And you can buy sheets of gelatin. So it's starting to melt there.
Yep.
And the next thing we're going to add is 2 cups of buttermilk.
Now, I love buttermilk. We were talking earlier that, if you're making something and you need buttermilk and you're at home, well, you do the trick where, you heat it up, you add a little lemon juice and something, but it doesn't taste exactly the same, right?
No, it's a little more scientific, when it's made, in the manufacturer, it's a little more consistent in flavoring.
So if you want to make this, go ahead and get yourself some real buttermilk.
Why not? Just keep it at home.
And what'd you add there?
This is 6 egg whites.
Okay.
So we're going to stir this. It's all going to come together. We're going to add a little bit of cayenne. I like it a little heat on mine.
Yes,
and then, of course, a little bit of salt. Salt in moderation is very good for you. And you need to add it to everything. Our corn stock, our corn soup. Then we're going to take a little bit of our stock that's been simmering for 45 minutes. We're going to add that to the corn here. This is going to simmer for probably about 30 minutes until everything's kind of came together.
So it looks like you're just covering the corn.
Just covering it, absolutely. And then we'll have this again at the end that we can adjust the consistency. Now I went ahead and I already put some in our blender here.
Okay.
I've blended it. It's nice and smooth. And then if you'd like to have it even more smooth, you could pass it through a chinois or a strainer, something of that nature.
Okay.
So we're going to chill it. We're going to add it to our bowl here. So Now that this is fully incorporated, fully whisked, we're going to add it to our ISI gun. That's the brand name, but the whipped cream charger you could certainly use.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
we put 2 charges in here. Now, you do have to be careful because this can get away from you. But we're going to just add a little bit of our buttermilk froth here. Gives it a really fun texture. We're going to add a little bit of our petite basil.
Let me just sneak in here.
Absolutely, and there you are.
Oh, now that is slick. That is really neat. Ah, my gosh, I'm going to try that. That's a really neat. How long will that last in one of these things with the gelatin and everything?
It'll last a couple days. You do want to chill it, refrigerate it, but it'll last a couple days and it adds a fun, different dimension to your party.
What a nice idea. Thank you, Caleb, very much. Appreciate it. The recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com, as well as the video instructions. Just press the dining link page and it'll take you right there. We also have a little giveaway contest there, $50 to some of our sponsors, so you may want to check that out as well for a little gift certificate to a local restaurant. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Where's my spoon?
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Our top story this half hour. A former South Carolina police officer is pleading guilty to violating the civil rights of an unarmed black man he shot and killed as the man ran from a traffic stop. Michael Slager was scheduled to appear in federal court ahead of his trial in the death of Walter Scott. Instead, he pleaded guilty in a plea agreement. In exchange, state prosecutors are dropping a murder charge against him. Slager's first trial on state murder charges ended in a hung jury. Cell phone video of the 2015 shooting was viewed by millions and sparked protests across the country. Protesters clashed in New Orleans last night at a Confederate monument. Hundreds gathered around the Jefferson Davis Monument. It's one of 3 Confederate memorials the city plans to remove. And last night's clash involved supporters and opponents of this removal. Several arrests were made on both sides. The statue's removal is part of the city's plan to get rid of prominent symbols of the Confederacy in the U.S. It's a viral stunt that went very wrong. A Colorado teenager could be facing charges after he jumped into a store aquarium. Melissa Garcia has the story.
The native fish in the large signature tank at Bass Pro in Stapleton got quite a stir when a teen decided to pull this stunt. Teens at other stores across the country have posted the prank on social media.
Crazy, you know what I mean? It's just stupid.
Customers like Doug Hammond don't think it's very funny.
Well, I think it's the wrong thing for him to do, you know, because of the ecosystem that it upsets.
The store brought in an animal care team to assess the fish's health. A spokesman says they're doing okay, and in a statement he said, "Our associates and security team quickly addressed the issue safely and without incident. Such occurrences are extremely rare and highly discouraged."
Lack of parenting, right from wrong.
Corey Anderson says videos on popular sites like YouTube can encourage kids to do things they ordinarily wouldn't.
Social media, honestly, I mean, peer pressure and just to post things to get your 5 minutes of fame.
As a parent, he tries to keep an eye out.
I mean, it's trying to monitor what they do and what they're on, but you can't because there's so many secret sites now and secret apps that parents don't know about that it's just, I mean, you can't fix it, but you can't change it either. And I'm glad there wasn't social media when I was a kid.
As for the teen, there's no word on his condition this noon. Wow. Splash.
Yeah, I'm glad that glass didn't break. I guess that glass is probably pretty sturdy, but still.
Yeah, bad idea.
Come on. We have some kind of unsettled weather, I guess we call it, this afternoon. You know, we have got some sunshine out there. We also have some cloud cover. Got clouds rolling in from the north, building in the east in response to a sea breeze. And the Anna Maria webcam put into motion shows a few scattered clouds that were around this afternoon, or this morning rather. And those have since given way to a little bit of clearing that allowed the temperatures to heat up nicely, and now we're looking at some pretty warm temperatures, and my computer is stuck again. Suffice it to say, you've got about a 30% chance of showers this afternoon, followed by some clearing as we head into the next 24 hours. We'll show you radar coming up in just a few.
All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. A busy week for President Trump and foreign leaders. Today, the president will speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin as he faces backlash over inviting the Filipino dictator to the White House. And he expressed interest also in meeting North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with details.
The world leaders traditionally stonewalled by American presidents, now invited right to the White House and embraced with kind words. Today, the president will speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin, the 3rd time since taking office. From Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping to the heads of Turkey, Egypt, Thailand, and now the Philippines, the president has been welcoming to questionable world leaders, even inviting the Filipino president and accused human rights violator Rodrigo Duterte to Washington. Duterte not sure he has the time.
No, because I'm tied up. I cannot make any definite promise.
The goal would be to get the Philippines to help with the North Korean threat as tensions continue escalating. The president telling Fox News.
Nobody's safe. I mean, who's safe? The guy's got nuclear weapons. If he gets the long-range missiles, we're not safe either.
Despite that, Trump telling Bloomberg under the right circumstances, he would be honored to meet with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
This is somebody who has starved his own people, somebody that has threatened to destroy the United States. How could he be honored to meet with Kim Jong-un?
Well, the president understands the threat that North Korea poses, and he will do whatever is necessary under the right circumstances to protect our country from the threat that they pose. He is still a head of state, so it is sort of there's a diplomatic piece to this.
The president called Kim Jong-un a smart cookie. This, as North Korea warned it will increase the speed of its nuclear tests to a maximum pace. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
On to state politics now. Time is running out for Tallahassee lawmakers. The budget must be complete today in order for legislators to wrap up their work this week. But Republicans say they have not been able to finish their work on the new $83 billion budget. Some issues still on the table involve spending on the environment and health care. Florida law requires that the budget be complete 72 hours before a final vote can be taken. Sessions last 60 days. Legislators can extend the session by a supermajority vote in both chambers. Another candidate in the race for Florida governor. Former Democratic Representative Gwen Graham is seeking the Democratic nomination. She's hoping to win this seat her father, Bob Graham, held for 2 terms before he then served in the Senate. Graham served 1 term in Congress, but she chose not to seek re-election last year after new congressional maps made her district firmly Republican. Other Democrats in the race are Orlando businessman Chris King and Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gilliam. Still to come on your Suncoast News, a stunning announcement last night by talk show host Jimmy Kimmel. And humans have been around now for thousands and thousands of years, but they leave their traces behind in ways you might not expect. Linda Carson has a story up next.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
The Wild Broadway series at the Players Center brings you the classic farce, Boeing, Boeing. It's the 1960s, and our swingin' bachelor is juggling 3 beautiful stewardesses from 3 competing airlines. But what happens when Boeing produces a faster plane? Comedy ensues. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. Opening April 26th, it's Boeing, Boeing.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
So we got a little bit of heating due to a little bit of sunshine that poked through, and that boosted our temperatures nicely from the 70s into the low 80s. I think today will probably be a little bit cooler by a degree or 2 than it was yesterday, in part because of the cloud cover and in part because of a nice onshore wind, west-southwest, coming in at about 9. That's really pumping the moisture in, bringing us the humidity now at 72. And some of the clouds are producing some rainfall. Now, the line of storms that's sinking southward associated with our cold front is pretty weak and diffuse, but it does supply a little extra kick to the atmosphere, and the combination of several ingredients will probably be what creates showers this afternoon and maybe even a thunderstorm or 2. The combination will be that frontal boundary. It'll be the sea breeze front kicking up some showers in inland areas, and then it will be that onshore flow of air pumping in the moisture and bringing our humidity up. Already that sea breeze or the southwest wind starting to produce a few scattered showers in inland areas, pushing them toward the other coast. In fact, it's toward the other coast where the heaviest of the rain will fall today, and that'll be along the eastern seaboard. May even see some very gusty winds along that region. Best place for thunderstorm activity as well in the state of Florida will be on the other coast, but we have a chance at seeing 1 or 2 pop up. So high pressure is now in the process of building in behind this frontal boundary, which is basically going to just stall out just to our south and eventually just wash away. Behind it, the high pressure ridge will bring us a day of little less rainfall. That'll be tomorrow. And then we'll watch this next frontal boundary, still back to the west, approach our area. That one is going to be of interest. As it approaches, it's going to start triggering off a line of showers and thunderstorms that could possibly produce some stronger storms. Few showers around today, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, and then we'll watch late afternoon, early evening clearing as that drier air begins to continue filtering in. Not only aloft, but also at the surface. It won't last long as that high quickly moves out into the Atlantic. We'll see the wind shift pretty rapidly, and a return to moisture will occur by later tomorrow afternoon and evening. So watch the RPM computer model. A few scattered showers around today. Most of the heavy stuff pushed south. Tomorrow, we'll get a few scattered showers around, I think, as the winds begin to shift back to the north and to the east, colliding with our sea breeze. Not as many, but a few. And then we will watch with interest a developing line of showers, which builds along the next front that comes our way, a stronger front, and gradually drifts in this direction by probably Thursday night into Friday morning. Probably around 7, 8 o'clock on Thursday, we'll see a few scattered thunderstorms building, and that will probably linger, that chance of showers, until about maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. We'll even have a few residual showers, probably about 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. till we start to see some pretty rapid clearing by Friday morning. Now, Severe Storm Prediction Center gives our area right in here a marginal risk at severe weather. Now, 3 days out, a marginal risk means about maybe 5%, and that would be mostly gustly winds and hail. Of course, we'll be refining that forecast in the days ahead, and we'll let you know how it evolves and whether or not we're still in that severe zone. So look for about a 50% chance Thursday late and then Friday early. Then we'll see some clearing Friday and some cooler, much drier air will filter in just in time for the weekend. Ray?
All right, thank you, John. Well, there's plenty of new homes in the area, no doubt about that. But the older ones often have great stories behind them. Our Linda Carson has an historic house in this week's A Place We Call Home.
This house is in the Indian Beach neighborhood, and it's in the Old Oaks section. It's just a few feet away from the water. It was built in 1935.
Humans have lived along the bay here for more than 5,000 years.
Way before the Sarasota area was settled, this was obviously a very well-known Indian fishing and hunting area.
And the Indians tossed their shells, bones, and so forth into great piles that became middens. And that's why the house is so high above the water. It sits on one of those middens. This spot has quite a history.
We believe, on this site or very close to it, so the Tarpon Club back in the early 1900s, kind of a private club for, again, hunting and fishing. At one point, the Tarpon Club did burn down, and then the Palm Hotel was built essentially in its place, and that was kind of a Victorian-style hotel.
And then that hotel burned down and left no traces, except some of the pilings from the pier that you can still see in the bay.
It was about a 300-foot concrete pier that went out into the water, so there's still remnants from that here.
And you won't find any evidence of it now, but once Indian Beach had its own little town. But by the time the McLeods built here, that town was gone.
They built a brick and stone, basically. So again, back in the 1930s, most of the structures were frame timber, but their idea was to build a very concrete structure, and again, it's stood the test of time.
The current owner updated the house, but saved many of the original architectural details.
Such as high ceilings, a good number of bedrooms and bathrooms, good square footage.
The 5-bedroom house and 1-acre lot are listed for $2.5 million. The views from this home are spectacular.
That's what it's all about. Seeing the water. Of course, you're on this amazing wide part of Sarasota Bay, so your water views and your sunsets are fabulous every day.
And this house has a full basement that over all these decades has remained dry, and it has a 7-foot-tall safe that came from an old bank in Sarasota. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A vault and a basement, very unusual in any house. All Beatles, all the time. Yeah, details of a new channel and why it took so long. And from Olympic medal to getting kicked off the dance floor, the latest eliminations on Dancing with the Stars next.
When caring for my wife alone became too much for me, I called my long-term care insurance company to get help from Granny Nannies. Now the most wonderful nurses help me with her care.
A helping hand
hand and a gentle heart.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Mom needed more care than we could provide, so we called Granny Nannies. She now has around-the-clock caregivers, and we have peace of mind. Thanks to them, she's where she belongs, at home.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Jimmy Kimmel opened up last night about a health scare involving his newborn son. The ABC host got emotional while sharing some news about his baby who was born 10 days ago with a heart defect.
Dr. Starnes opened his chest and fixed one of the 2 defects in his heart. He went in there with a scalpel and did some kind of magic that I couldn't even begin to explain. He opened the valve and the operation was a success. It was the longest 3 hours of my life.
There he is, William John Kimmel, or Billy, as he's called, is home and doing great now. Kimmel says he's sleeping, eating, and even peed on his mother for changing his diaper. The Who's Who graced the red carpet last night for one of the biggest See and Be Seen fundraisers of the year. The Metropolitan Museum of Art hosted its annual Met Gala. The purpose is to raise money for the Met's fashion department. Tickets alone cost, ready, $30,000. Among those on the guest list, Jennifer Lopez, Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian, and Serena Williams right there showing off her baby bump. Normani Corday and her partner tangoed their way to first place last night in Dancing with the Stars. Tying for second were Simone Biles and Sasha Farber, as well as Rashad Jennings and Emma Slater. But not so lucky were former Olympic skating star Nancy Kerrigan and TV's latest bachelor, Nick Viall. Both were eliminated.
I did have a great time. I was able to dance with Artem. He taught me a ton. I got a new friend out of this, and the whole thing was a great experience.
It's always great to put yourself out there and you experience life. And this is, I'll always cherish this time. And I think you want to go through life having moments like this to cherish.
Good attitude. Next week, the remaining 5 couples will do their individual routines and then team up for those popular trio dances. Soon, you'll be able to hear Beatles all day, all night on Sirius Radio. The satellite radio is giving the band its very own channel. The chief of Sirius XM says he made inquiries about starting a Beatles channel for years, but didn't want to press too hard when the 2 remaining Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, had individual projects to promote. The channel starts May 18th, just a week before the band releases its box set to mark the 50th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, 50 years now. And finally, a new drink to test your taste buds. A popular chain in Pennsylvania and Ohio will start selling bottled pickle juice soda made with pure cane sugar. They'll come in 12-ounce glass bottles for about $2.50. And the owners say demand is so great it could take a week to process online orders. And this isn't the only strange drink this place sells. They also have drinks that taste like buffalo sauce and ranch dressing. You know, I've heard pickle juice is actually good for you.
I like pickles. Not sure how I would like a pickle soda.
With pure cane sugar.
Yeah.
Can't be good for you.
It does not sound particularly appealing, but then who am I to judge before I try it, right?
That's true. You're always safe that way. Any showers today, or are we done?
Yeah, possibly. A few scattered showers around this afternoon, maybe even a thunderstorm with some gusty winds, severe weather not expected. We're watching Thursday into Friday storms, though, for some possibly stronger ones.
All right. Have a good afternoon. Haley and Scott are back here at 5. We'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast.